Villainous beats, villainous beats, villainous beats. Villainous beats, villainous beats.
In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is Super Black.
Yo, everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's another episode of Blurred's Eye View. Thank you for tuning in. If you are watching us on YouTube, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you once again. That's the Blurred's Eye View podcast. And also, you can check us out on Twitch, Blurred's Eye View 1. But before we get started, we got one more poster to give away. And it's for Fight the Power, as we are celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. And you can get this poster by doing what? Well, you can tune in and hit hashtag Fight the Power. And with that poster, you'll get a signed poster by Chuck D himself from Public Enemy. And this movie and you can also get a code on this poster. And it's about hip-hop legend Chuck D brings together the most iconic and pioneering figures in the game to unpack the history and impact of this art form on American and global culture over the last 50 years. Don't miss the Fight the Power, How Hip-Hop Changed the World on PBS Now and streaming on the PBS app. How can you get that? Like I said, you can go ahead and hit hashtag Fight the Power and get that new poster. You got one more left. One more. You want to get it. You might want to get in on the action. So before we get going, let's bring in Lady Mandalore. Lady Mandalore is in the building.
Oh, well, hello.
How's it going?
It goes swell.
It's to the point we are having fun from Tuesday to Saturday.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I like it.
You need to tune in. You check her out on her fan base, Room Full of Blurs. It's always a blast.
It's always a good time.
Good conversation. Damn good conversation.
Yeah.
Don't come in here trolling. She's gonna put you together. Our cinematic assassin is in the building. We'll be watching. What's going on, Will?
Ain't too much, just watching John Wick for the 18th time. So good.
How can you not watch John Wick for the 18th time? Like, why wouldn't you?
I had a marathon that I think they have all 4 of them on HBO Max.
Yeah. No, they got John Wick 1 through 3.
3.
Yeah, 1 through 3. They'll show them. One thing they'll show them back to back.
Yeah. No, even on the app, it's got its own section. The John Wick collection. No, I literally can just sit there and just be enamored by all that Keanu does.
Yes. Well, it's Keanu. I mean,
it's my first love. Leave me alone. I didn't know any better.
Keanu Reeves is like he's like a good guy. He's literally like a good guy.
Truly.
And he can take you out with a pencil.
Just do a Keanu marathon in and of itself. Just go Speed, Matrix, John Wick. That's a good night.
Oh, and
and Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, thank you.
It's like Bill and Ted on in there.
Gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, hey, it works. they made what 3 of those. So
or 1 in my head. That's fine.
You said or 1. In your head. So Will has a little project. I don't even want to say little. That's disrespectful. Will has a project that he's worked on with Hellspawn Cosplay. Children in the Atom just dropped today. How was it? So
hot fire.
So go ahead and check that out, Children in the Atom. If you're living under the rock, Children in the Atom are about the X-Men. But guess what? These X-Men are people of color.
Yeah. Spicy.
And I'm all here for it. Shout out to Hellspawn Cosplay for helping put this whole thing together. Shout out to Will, our very own Will be watching. We're helping to produce this thing. I am very much, you know what, let me do this right. Let me do this the right way. Because, everybody else gets it. Why shouldn't you? There you go.
I was 10 toes down and 2 crutches.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He was in the trenches with the crutches. So he was handling business.
Convention center.
Quadriplegic, semi-peri-quadriplegic,
something like that.
I wasn't a no pelegic.
No. So we have a special guest with us tonight. His name is JP Smalls. He is the owner, operator, and creator of Review Time Productions, and he's doing a bunch of Power Ranger fan films. And we're going to be talking to him later about these projects that, yours truly is also a part of. I am one of the voices of one of the pirates. So
Wow.
Here there be Lazarus.
Wow.
Here be working like a
He be
Jamaican man.
So there you go. I'm making my rounds. What's going on, JP?
Nothing. I'm just taking it all in. I thank you for having me up here. My name is JP Smalls. I am a writer, producer, editor, and I have been working with my own self-made production company for a year now, and I've been creating different audio books. I do have plans to eventually do films, and I have plans to do different universes. It's just I'm working on this Power Rangers universe that I created right now, but I do have a lot of other plans for other universes in the future. I want to do a superhero one. I'm currently working on some OC creations for it and ideas and concepts. So yeah, man, with my production company, I just plan on creating different genres and different styles to bring to the world. I want to have something that involves superheroes. I want to have something that involves the real world. I just want to incorporate different genres into my production company, man, and have like different universes for so that's what I've been doing. It's something I've been working on. You can subscribe to me at Review Time Productions. I currently have my flagship series up there. It's called Power Rangers Digital Beast. It's been running for almost a year now. We are at 7 episodes, currently working on the 8th, and it's definitely a more mature take, a more serious take on the Power Rangers.
We lost him for a second. I think his phone went out for a second. He's still there, but I think it just went out for a second.
Maybe you got a call.
Well, that's but that's
Hey,
okay.
listen,
We'll wait for
as somebody that runs this off their phone, I dread every time. It's like it's gonna get that one random call.
That's how it happens. Well, while we wait for JP to come back through, we're gonna get into the news.
Yeah, my phone went out. I'm sorry.
There's JP. He's back.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He's kind of back.
My phone had went out. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, you good? You good? It's the beauty of live.
I'm sorry, technical difficulties. But what I was saying was, you can go and check out the project that I've been working on my YouTube channel, Review Time Productions. We have 7 episodes up. It's a more serious, more mature take on Power Rangers than the show you probably know. And it's about a father and his son having to deal with the fallout from his experiment. His father is a video game developer, and what his father was trying to do was create a virtual reality world in which people can go to. It's an RPG, and then the experiment went wrong, and instead of the experiment just going wrong and everything just killing everybody, the father's video game comes into the real world, and now the father and son have to pretty much team up together with the video game developers to stop the villains that came over from the game, along with some heroes that came over from the game. So it's very, very experimental. It's inspired by Digimon, if you've seen that before. So
yes,
it's it's out there as a show, but I do
you're talking to people who've literally grown up to watch shows that's out there.
It's very much an out there premise, but I tend to try to keep it grounded in my world with my writing. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I have going on right now. I do have future projects coming. I have a special coming that's surrounded around knights, and then I have another movie coming out this year that's about a team of pirate Power Rangers. It is not anything like you would think it is. I wanted to take a different take with pirates because I feel like they're kind of misrepresented in media. pirates were not happy-go-lucky rock stars. They were criminals that lived a very hard life. So I wanted to bring that. I wanted to bring that to the screen. So, you know, you guys be looking out for that.
I'm just glad to be a part of it.
I'm glad that you're a part of it, man. You really knocked it out for the lines that I sent you. I was like, man, this guy is perfect for this role. I can't wait to start working on that project, man. But basically all of these Power Ranger series or specials that I'm working on are going to connect into one huge event. So it's a whole universe I'm working on. So stay tuned for that. That's all I can say. I would just say, if you want to start, you can go ahead and start today and go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and check out Power Rangers Digital Beast, because it all starts from there, and then it's going to branch out into other properties and projects.
So before we get into the news, I want to ask you, will these universes meld? Well, at least with the Power Rangers universes that you're dealing with, will they merge at some point?
Well, I haven't really thought that that deep into it yet, but for now I want to try to keep these different like universes that I'm working on separate until I can figure out a bigger plan for them all. But you know, somewhere down the line it could very well all coalesce together and come together in a huge event. So, you know, I'm not going to count that out as a possibility. It's just I have to work on one, then I'll get to the other, and then I'll get to the other. So yeah, man, it's a lot of
we know that project grind. We already know that.
Yeah, man. It's tough, man. It's very stressful, bro. But I do my best to get it done. I usually have a lot of people read over it. I send it to a lot of people to read and to give their honest opinions about, because I love to hear like a second opinion about any of my work. I more want to hear the constructive criticism than the praise, because, you know, while I love the praise and I appreciate all the support, I don't feel like it helps me grow as much as that constructive criticism does at the end of the day. Like all the constructive criticism I got has really helped me as a writer and a creator. So yeah, I mean,
that's what's up.
That's all I can say.
So before we get into it, did you guys have anything to ask about the creation of Digital Beast and Pirates of the Seven Seas? Anything like that? I can't keep giving these people this stuff.
Are they space pirates or are they like water pirates?
They're water pirates.
I have to ask. Don't laugh at me.
They're water pirates.
Okay.
I wanted to go with like real. I wanted it to be as real and as close to actual pirates as possible.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're water pirates.
Okay.
Anything that's better than Ice Pirates. By the way, it's a guilty pleasure. I watch it.
Ice Pirate? Okay.
Ice Pirates. It's a thing. It's a thing.
I will take your word for it,
it's
sir.
The 80s. It was the 80s. No one questions the 80s.
Yeah, man. They just threw a lot of ideas out there at the time period, bro.
Look, we got a time traveling DeLorean. I don't want any fingers pointing at me about pirates in space hunting ice.
Literally, you got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles out of that era. Like, I cannot believe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became a classic. Like the idea sounds crazy.
It's a classic. It's
concept.
It's an ongoing classic.
It is. It's if you've read The Last Ronin, my God.
Hey yo.
I'm like, why are y'all doing this to me right now?
Beyond. I was surprised. Like I like the Ninja Turtles. They are, but this book. Cheers.
I was. It made you. You're just like, yo. I need a minute. I need some therapy, and I need to sit down with somebody because.
Like, let me call my mom real quick.
Right. Like, where are the brothers? You don't want to know.
No.
You don't want to know.
You're not ready.
You ain't ready for that. You're not ready for that.
You're not ready.
So, we're gonna go ahead and get into the news. We're gonna talk a little bit about this news real quick. Before we get right into the main crux of everything, first off, Marvel Studios plans for Secret Avengers might be bigger than everybody's thought. As we know, if you've read any of the Secret Wars, you know this is a major thing. This is probably it's bigger than Endgame. What we've seen in Endgame, yeah, that's big. Secret Wars in comics, that's an all-encompassing thing.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of talk going on with this movie, to the point that it may be split into 2 films, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it with
Infinity War.
with Infinity Wars.
I wouldn't mind it being split into 3, to be honest with you. Because as much as I did like the Infinity War saga, I do feel like they needed more time to kind of fill in some of the missing pieces with it. So, you know,
there were definitely some pieces like when they reveal when Tony goes to the soul realm and he's talking to an adult version of his daughter. You know, that would have been a scene that we might have wanted to see.
Yeah, I would have wanted
you know, some kind of closure. You know, you know, the unanswered question of when Steve took all the stones back, and guess what? When he takes that one back, who is he coming across? I still want that. I want the story. I want that story of him just taking all the stones back. Number 1. Number 2, I want the story of him running into Red Skull again. Like, because he's just like, not this guy. I can just see. That's how it starts off. Not this guy.
Yeah, man. I would love if it was 3 parts, especially with Secret Wars, because this is going to be even bigger than Endgame, because you're bringing in other superheroes from other universes. So I feel like you need 3 or 4 parts for this to work at its best. That's a lot to put on the viewer, bro, in 2 movies.
Y'all don't think people would be? It wouldn't have the same kind of like fatigue that people have with Avatar. Like they waited way too. Granted, there was a lot of space between the 2 movies, but we know there's like 5 more that are going to come. I don't know if I want to wait that many years in between all those movies. It's at least going to be a year between each movie. That's a lot of information.
I think it would be at least a year at best, because what I've been noticing, especially since the pandemic, what I've been noticing is they have a way of stacking their shows and their movies. So once a run of a show is done, you might have to wait a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then a movie drops. And then after the movie does its initial theatrical run, which is about 3 months, then you might get another show. So they're like, hey, once this is done and it leaves the theater, don't worry, we got you. You probably in another week or so, you'll get a show to kind of fill in the blanks. You know, could it be fatigue?
It's a lot of information to want to ask people to retain.
It's a lot of information, and I just feel like 2 movies may not be enough for all of that y'all trying to cram in.
Not unless they take one said. I mean, they could take one said film and break it into a series in between. You know, they could do that. I mean, there's ways. There's definitely ways.
I'm hoping they do that, because I have not liked their mentality as of lately, because it feels like it's a fast food mentality. We're going to try to throw everything and cram everything into one movie, or we're going to try and throw and cram everything into one show. Like, I feel like y'all need to space this out and take your time with it.
Yeah.
And then we also know, even with the slated times that we have for the said films, like now we have access to internet and everything. The times can obviously change. The release dates can change, you know, due to, you know what, just like Armor Wars. Armor Wars was supposed to be a television show. Now it's going to be a film, you know, so they're just like, things can change.
I feel like a big part of the squish job of was this phase 4 was largely because of COVID. Well, I don't want to say largely, but
it played a heavy hand.
Piece of it. Is because, you know, they still want things to roll out in a certain sequence to give you certain story beats for the whole universe. But it's like, damn, we just lost a year and a half. All right, Miss Marvel, and just like we gotta get all this stuff out so that, you know, these contracts don't run out or something like that. or people age out of roles or something. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know.
I think the only person they're worried about aging out right now is T'Challa Jr. I think that's the only kid they're worried, because everybody else is like they've hit their growth spurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like Miss America or America Chavez, she's already what, 16, 17. So she's at the same with Miss Marvel, she's at that same age range. So you're not going to get like this crazy growth spurt, you know, opposed to T'Challa Jr., you know. Like, you're gonna have to keep our hands on this kid for a little while.
Yeah.
Give us some filling, because when he shows up again, you know, they're gonna be like, who is this young man?
He's gonna be the black kid from Stranger Things.
Right, you know. He's got a whole mustache now and everything, you know. Walking around, he look like, you know, he's about Anthony Anderson's age at this point. You know, you don't want that. Like, that boy grown. Yeah, right. You know, let's get this cute kid and keep us. You know, we don't want the what was his name on Lost? I can't remember. Walt. That was his name. Walt.
God.
You don't want a Walt situation where you took a turn around, had a writer's strike, and when it came back, Walt went from 7 to 25. You know, it was just like, you're just like, how do we explain this? Like, send him off on the ship, say he went back to land or something. You know? So,
I do agree with you though, Will. I do think that COVID did affect
the Black Spartan is in the building.
I do agree with you on that.
Disappointed right now.
He was waiting on that helmet.
I was waiting on that freaking helmet. Dang, I was waiting on that freaking helmet.
Oh, it'll come. But yeah, so I agree that, you know, if you have a lot of content for Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty, which will probably be the same thing anyway, that you need something to just like, okay, where can we, because there's going to be a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. There's going to be a lot of, I mean, look at Wakanda Forever. Like, there's like 2 deleted scenes that people are like, yo, this would have been nice to have inside the film now. Now that we know. But then
I never understand their choices, because all of those deleted scenes are at the most an extra 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Just
runtime.
I guess the build up for that one scene with Okoye would have needed like another 20 minutes or something to get to that point.
But see, then I mean, it would have gave you some, because we know that Okoye is getting a series. We know that. And then she's all but said it right out. But they're doing a series centered around her and the people.
But to see Okoye taking on the Dora Milaje at one time, it was like, I trained all of you, I could whoop all of you. And I was like, I wanted that moment, just like I just want her to take that spear, just draw a line in the sand and say, cross it if you want to.
this and you know what, I agree with you, because I just read Wakanda issue number 5, and it's about Okoye.
Yeah, I would love to see that, bro.
She is about, when I say like the woman, so I'm gonna give you the background on Wakanda number 5. She's training her niece. She has a niece. Okoye has a niece that she's training to become a Dora. She takes her on a mission, and you know how Okoye works. Don't move until I get there. You
pretty much.
That's it. Well, you know, you always got this impetuous kid, don't want to listen. We're going to lose her if we don't take her now. Well, this enemy, which is an enemy of Shuri's, proceeds to royally whoop her niece's tail. Damn near kill her. Okoye gets there just in time, lays it on her, and then broadcasts across every known television station, every known signal. She says, ever since y'all heard that we no longer have a king and we've broken down to a diplomacy, y'all have called open season on our borders. I'm here to tell you that ain't the case.
Fuck around and find out.
It was a literally fuck around and find out moment. She says, this is what happens when you try to come into Wakanda. And she kills this woman. And I'm just like, she mean business.
That's how you send a message.
That's how you send a message. Think Marvel we will ever see something like that in Marvel, bro.
No. It might be off scene. It might be off scene and say something to the effect of, I handled it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe when Marvel comes out with that hard R series.
yeah.
I mean, we
The
had
hard R.
was it racist Captain America cut that dude's head off?
No, but you got to think though, that was great.
Like, they
that was
didn't
great
show it,
cinematography.
but
That was
but
great cinematography.
I was
though.
like, oh,
Because I mean,
Oh,
Don't disrespect Cap's name like that. We know that's
Well,
John.
I mean, let's be honest. John Walker just had the most disrespectful ass whooping of all time by the Dora Milaje.
That was his pride talking.
Yeah. Poor Brave Star because he had to back up his boy, got his ass whooped too.
That was horrible. Still,
Don't act brand new. He knew better. How did somebody should have told him at the very least? Well, they did try to tell him.
He lost his black card for a moment. We don't break up one-on-ones.
No.
We don't break up one-on-ones.
Even Bucky knew that. Bucky was like, "No, Sam, what are you doing? No."
Right.
No.
Sam was trying to give him every warning in the world, and Bucky's like,
It's like Bucky gave Sam the look. He was just like, and the collective black people knew what that look was. It was like, but it was like that white boy.
That's how you know. That's how some white people have stuck around long enough to understand our hands, to start to understand our signals. It's like, nope.
He sat back with the Luther lean. He was just like, when he hit that Luther lean, it was just like, it was a whole. He was like, we know what that lean means.
But I agree. Though there were some great cutscenes of Wakanda Forever, but it's like, is Marvel afraid of another 3-hour movie?
I think it was one of those situations where they're just saying, let's try it, because the Russos were behind this at the time, so they were like, Russo brothers had put a very good content. Watch The Gray Man on Netflix. Great stuff. And I think it was a study. Let's see if we can do this. We've seen what happened with Infinity War. There's certain stuff that had to get cut out from Infinity War. Yeah. So now we go into Endgame, which literally had this. You had to make it a 3-hour film. There was no way you could not make that a 90-minute film. It wasn't going to work. Not with the content that you had involved with it. You're just like, you're going to be fast tracking stuff. You're going to. Case in point, look at 2016's release of Justice League. 2-hour film. But look where the 2-hour mark is. They're under the tunnel. Yeah. But then you look at the Snyder Cut verse, that's not even halfway in the film.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. But they try to tell a whole universe in one movie.
Yeah.
That was where
they set themselves up for failure, man.
Yeah. When you try to tell an arc story in one movie, you have completely and royally already messed yourself up.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, love the scenes. Too much slow motion for my taste, but
Snyder's always been, and you've heard me say about my rants on Snyder, he's visually a great concept director.
Yeah,
terrible writer, but look at 300. 300 was visually stunning. We expected nothing less from Justice League, or in Batman vs Superman, where you had the iconic meetup of Superman ripping off the Batmobile and Batman kind of had that pull up moment, and I was like, okay, I admit it, it's epic. Or you had all three of them stand together when they're facing the
visually stunning.
I won't call it doomsday. I just call it top cheap imitation. But you had those moments, right? But it's just, I just can't get past the idea of just Marvel is trying things, and I understand that. But at the same time, it's just like, Black Wakanda.
That's blackity black right there.
in Black History Month, I decided to go ahead and say Black Wakanda, everybody. but you would
that
think
sound like your white boss around the water cooler.
Oh man!
Well, you see the Black Wakanda movie?
You know what? That's the dude.
That's when you get infuriated.
You're just like, African Safari and says Black Wakanda all the way wrong.
That's one of them things where you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna go home for the rest of the day.
It's like, hey, Will, I went to Africa and it was so enlightening. I've been around your people. It is so great. We got to watch lions. I'm like, why did the lion not eat you? I'm like, you. In my mind, I've been like, the lion didn't eat you. Was y'all there on a full day?
on the full day. In other Marvel news, they're going to reveal how they're going to start cracking down on their spoilers and their plot leaks moving forward. As we know, they have had a rash of them. Ever since Spider-Man No Way From Home, there has been a rash of leaks and spoilers. Some of these spoilers, now I'm going to say out front, some of these spoilers have been coming from people who got to see the movie a week early, maybe 2 weeks early. You forgot what the code was, didn't you? You don't say shit. If you've seen it early, you shut up. You talk to the people amongst you. If you've seen it during its release, it's a 2-week ban. You say nothing.
That used to be the case, but
that used to be.
But Marvel, let's be honest, Marvel thrived off those leaks.
They did.
They planned some of them.
Yeah, I believe they did some of that.
You had Ruffalo and you had Holland. You had your agents. You had your agents of chaos out there.
They had to pull Holland back and to the point Holland was like, "It's not me. I swear to God, it's not me."
Like Ruffalo was like, "Blame me. I always get blamed. It's fine." No, you the plant. They tell you they tell you something. You feed it out there, and then it's just like, oh well, we know who the leaker is. No, Marvel has done their Q&A and tested error off leaks because they want to see how we react. Because I'll be honest with you, because we all know that they could sign an NDA with anybody who literally works with these films. So if someone were to say something, we all know how easy it is to track who got told what. Or you could just be petty and give 5 different things of information and see who goes talking.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I do.
So there's several things at play that deal with some of these leaks and some of these spoilers. The pandemic was part of the issue, some other little offside things, but mainly part of it, and this is from Nate Moore, who's the executive producer from Wakanda Forever. He says, well, what would happen is we would invite Disney employees to these pre-screenings, and we would allow them to invite some friends. Well, the Disney employees may shut up. The friends may not. Yeah,
friends open season.
I wouldn't if I'm a friend and I ain't signed no NDA. I'm sorry.
That is open season though. It's like,
JP was just like, I didn't see no contract in front of me.
Right? Yeah, man. Bro, if I ain't got to risk getting sued for this, man, I don't know. Something may slip, man.
So I think they'll be fine because, like I said, we were getting a lot of these leaks. Some of these leaks, yes, they were on the studio's behalf. That scene where the scene in No Way Home where we see all 3 Spider-Man and they go into the major battle against all the Sinister Six.
Yeah,
but in the trailer that we get, they're phased out, and you only get Peter, and then there's the Lizard, and you're just like, who the hell kicked the Lizard?
I still don't know why they dropped that scene.
I blame the graphics director, and I blame the person that designed the poster art.
Because why wouldn't you just put the picture of Tom Holland and the Green Goblin? Everybody else could have got deleted.
But that's the thing about it, though. They didn't. But that's why I said I blame the film. Whoever cut the trailers, because I guarantee they're not working for Disney anymore. And I blame
they probably work for Sony.
Because the posters, let's be honest, how many times has the posters, the trailers, everything about No Way Home, how many times has it been analyzed to the point to where someone who I truly believe are in the darkest corners of their mother's basements with tinfoil hats on, sat there and said, if you look at this closely, there's no way Spider-Man could be fighting all 3 of them from this direction, this direction, this direction, and he's right here. Someone actually did the math on this. Does that tell you something? They literally did the trajectory math on when Spider-Man jumps, and you see all 3 villains, and they broke it down mathematically.
Once again, this is those situations where you need Black Jesus, and I'm just saying, you need Black Jesus. That's all I'm saying.
If you got that much time to break down vertical spaces on an imaginary movie, you gotta be put on list somewhere.
Yeah, man. Right. You gotta have nothing to do with your life to sit up there and think about it that deeply.
That's the person that needs to be monitored.
I didn't even see
that's
it
a monitored person.
I'm sorry. What are you doing? No. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. That person might not have any hair by the is over, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, that's the dude that's need to put on a list. Just like Neighborhood Watch, put him on a list.
Yeah.
You need a couple Chads in the building to do this job and this job alone.
Mm-hmm. Just stick.
You need a couple Dwights in the building. That's what you need to kind of rein this thing.
You know what? That'd be the one time I'd be okay with a couple of Bills. Bill could go on his parent. Bill could be paranoid, but he wasn't wrong. That's all I'm put that way.
Bill wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong.
Oh man, I also had the pleasure, and if you go to blurredeyeview.org, you'll see the spoiler review of Sins of Sinister #1.
Suffering succotash.
Wild ride, ain't it?
It's a wild ride, and I'm here for it. And let me tell you why I'm here for it. Storm.
That's my girl.
I love how they're writing her. I will be Storm in the Brotherhood of Mutants is on my pull list. So that would because just she goes in. So basically, Sinister has been pulling strings for a long time now since they've had Krakoa. And they have a way of they've kind of conquered mortality by being immortal by using 5 different mutants that can kind of create and like they have their minds backed up, I guess you can say. So if they die in a mission, they can bring them back and they can pick up where they left off. A couple things happened. Laura, who is the latest Wolverine, she died on a mission, or they thought, and they brought her back. But they brought her when they brought her back, she had a full adamantium skeleton, like her counterpart, Logan. And she didn't expect that. And now there's 2 of them running around because they found out the one that quote unquote died was still alive. So yeah, it's a problem. So they got that going on. Then
how you messed anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it was where they went, and that's why they thought she died. And so
they did a head count. They said everybody raise your hand if you're here. She didn't raise her
hand.
She
didn't make roll.
Yeah,
roll call was absent, and
it was Bueller. It was one of them situations. So, but they, also in Krakoa, they say if you were a bad guy and you're a mutant, your sins are forgiven, basically. You get another chance to live here in Krakoa. You get a chance to start a new life. That doesn't work for everybody. Nathaniel Exis is one of those people. He doesn't care. He's always lived in the shadows. He has a god complex. He's like, oh, you let me stay on the council? Oh, I get access. I get to help you bring back mutants. Oh, this is glorious.
And the whole
every mutant he brought back or helped to bring back because of part of his machine had a bit of his DNA in it. And the plan that came out was soon I will take over the council. And he did. By having they're not clones of himself, they're just parts of himself within the new bodies of new X-Men. He's part of the council now. It's weird.
Advanced body snatchers, basically.
It's advanced. They've shut down Krakoa to the point where it's pretty much a drooling mess. He's using the Myra McTaggart mutant gene to kind of reset, start, or have save points where if something didn't go right, he can go back and start over again, and it got bad. But 3 people seen this coming. Destiny, Mystique, and Storm. And Storm put it in place. She's like, I need a trigger because what they're going to try to do, because Storm is the only one who hasn't died on any kind of mission. And she's made it to where you don't get a backup of me. So that's out the question.
Yeah.
And she made a trigger. She put a block saying they know they don't have a backup of me. They know I'm not going to die. They need to keep me around, but they want to have to control me. So I need a block. I need a trigger word to stop any psychic attack.
Mm-hmm.
And she has that set up.
Mm.
As Kira said last week,
Pineapple.
black girls winning. That's
they written you know, it's like that those memes about Storm just being herself. That was basically how she is now. She is like F you, Scott. The last time we let you cook, you brought raisins to potato salad to the cookout.
That is Storm. That's Storm.
Basically the Storm that's being written right now.
Black nerd problems.
Y'all always find a way to fuck up some shit for me. Yeah. Like why?
It's perfectly written. No, you really should read it.
Black nerd problems do these. They're great memes, and it's always centered around Storm, but they use the 90s X-Men animated version. And it fits, you know. Like she was like, "Oh, so Scott braids your hair?" Yeah, he's like, "I was raised in an orphanage, and it was predominantly black, so I had to learn my way." You know, so Scott can do braids. He do plaits and everything. You know.
But the way they were in Storm and Sins of Sinister, it's exactly like that.
It's fantastic.
She is no frills. She is straight on point, and she is always ready for the smoke, and it is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I've never seen them write Storm this well.
Mm-hmm.
In years, I've never seen her written this well, and I'm just like, this is the goddess.
Who is the writer?
Karen Gillian is the writer for Sins of Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Karen Gillian.
Yeah.
Not the Karen Gillian from
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not Karen. That's Karen. That's Karen Gillian. Yeah. No. But yeah,
I was like, we're just all going to just smooth past that. Nobody's
no. Yeah, no. I was like, no, it's not.
Well, it's all connected.
James Gunn is behind it all. No, but no, they are managing the way they have been writing her as the true goddess. Like she won't even take the role of royalty, but she's royalty. Like she's literal royalty. Like that's her bloodline. Even this role on Mars, Krakoa, she's royalty. You know, she holds the throne. She doesn't really like being called the throne because she sees what happens when that happens, but she ain't afraid to lay hands. Like she's a queen. Like she's a queen. She's doing queen shit. Cersei could never.
They should definitely. I feel they used template from the comics to do the MCU Storm. Because although I didn't hate Halle Berry's Storm, I just didn't think her Storm was the best representation of her as a character. So I'm hoping the next Storm they'll get it right.
Yeah,
I Halle Berry's Storm was
Angela. I don't know what Angela did or why she was not picked, but she should have.
I don't think she did anything.
Yeah,
I think she just. Because even now, and yes, Will, you can reset the clock.
You're welcome for the alley-oop there, Chris.
It wasn't me this time, but she really. When I see Storm, I do see Angela Bassett. Just what she exudes, when she walks in a room, you tighten up.
Yeah,
you know when that's why T'Challa is the way he is. She come around, this man's butter. I don't care what's going on. Aurora's here. Okay, you know what? Y'all need to get this together right now. I need to go handle this over here.
I mean, even in Wakanda movies, it's like he could be all like, "Mother, hello, mother." It's instantly right back to being an 8-year-old child. Hello, mother.
He tightens up. So seeing Storm have that same type of energy. That's why, and like you said, Kira, I don't know what happened then, because it was a fan cast, and she was the number one pick.
You know what?
She read the script.
I could have sworn there was an interview somewhere.
That could be it.
It was.
I could have sworn there was an interview somewhere, and I got to find it because I had this previous inquiry before where they did ask her a long time ago. Was she ever opposed to the role of Storm? I think she only passed it up because she thought at the time that Storm was not going to be given enough lines in the movie.
And she was right.
The ones she had were bad.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I gotta find that interview. I know it was done with people.
That means
and
that's
people a
two
long
roles
time ago.
that
I gotta
Halle
find
Berry
it.
took that Angela passed on.
Yeah,
Keep that
but
energy.
that wasn't. But that
Stop
wasn't
bringing
Storm.
that
That
up.
was great value, Storm. That was great. That was great value, Storm, with a Tyler Perry wig, is what that was.
It really
Okay, I'm the only one that saw a Tyler Perry wig.
Nah, you're right. You're right.
You ain't had to go that far there, Will.
Man,
So I was
No, and
Tyler
then, but see,
Wig,
then it
man.
got worse. It got worse because
The
then
wig-
when they started going and redoing the timeline, I guess they did, and then they brought in Alexandra Shipp.
Mhm.
You got the hair right, you got the background right, you even got the accent right,
Mhm.
but that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
You know, so and it was just like I'm still not getting it.
Because it wasn't her.
I'm not getting it. I'm like, you got her accent right. Let's see if we can look past some of this other stuff. Let's see how this go. Nope, not working.
Look, let's be
Damn.
honest. There are some roles out there that we put so high on a pedestal that we know there are certain actors with certain je ne sais quoi that can do it. Halle ain't it.
No.
What's Alexandra Shipp up to? Is she still doing things?
She did something else.
She did something that made her get real quiet for a little while. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was, but
It wasn't X-Men.
No, it wasn't that. No.
No,
It was
wasn't
something
X-Men.
else.
She said something. She said some wild shit.
Yeah, it
That-
had something to
that
do
I
with
do
color and
Yeah, I
it
feel
was
like
something
it was
wild.
I feel like people were like, I wish we had a darker skinned Storm. And she was just like, y'all hating because I'm beautiful and light skinned or something. Just like
Yeah, it was
Something out of pocket, and it was just like, PR
That's
nightmare.
That's the one where your PR person goes, just delete social media for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did. She did.
Just
I have not heard from her since, man.
they're gonna be
I
on
haven't
the
heard
season of Love
nothing.
and Hip Hop.
not loving hip hop.
He said that'll be the next time we see her. Oh Lord, I don't know what. So bad.
Not on those reality competition shows of former celebrities and television personalities.
You do that meme where you got Leonardo pointing at the T. Ooh. This is bad. This is so bad. So bad.
Just having they remember you playing in the background.
Yeah, right.
They
So
reminisce over you.
and there really are, you know, fans have a lot of input obviously about who should play the next Storm. I can't even pronounce her name, but she played the love goddess on American Gods, the African goddess.
Yeah. Oh my God.
God damn you for putting that block on my goddamn head. I know that woman's name.
Yeah. It's like Yatiti.
No.
Yatiti. Is it Yatiti?
Bikini something. Because my God, that was
Man, I'm not gonna try to say it because I feel like I'll butcher
Yatiti
it.
Bakati.
Yeah, something like that.
Badkii.
Because she has that look, she has that air, she
got that eyes. My God.
I know someone as that's her, but here's another one. Here's another one that has actually thrown her hat in the ring because she wants to play the role. Anna Diop, Starfire from Titans.
I can see that.
Okay. All right. Wait. Okay. Okay. Wait.
I can see that.
Only because
Go ahead.
the accent. Only because the accent. If I can get an African Storm, I want an African Storm. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're gonna play this. You're gonna play this. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna go.
We're gonna do
We're
that.
doing it all the way. I want somebody out the bush. I want somebody. Okay. If I can get that, that's what I want. She don't even have to be Nigerian.
Time out.
You're just literally just if you're going to be Storm, if you're going to be
from
Storm,
Nigeria, like that's fine. That don't count in my opinion.
And she has an aesthetic that fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She has this, and and it's like, okay, we've seen her in Titans. I've seen her in 24. I've seen her, and I have Nanny,
Yeah.
which is on Amazon Prime. So I'm like, okay.
I do like her.
I'm digging. I see where this is going. I'm like, somebody need to put this on the line or something, at least have her try it out.
All it takes for one person to sit there and say it.
Oh,
Man, watch they cast Journey Smollett or
you better
Zoe
shut your
Kravitz.
I gotta go get this stew out the oven. I'll be back.
Wait, okay.
There's no Journey Smollett
See, here's the thing
slander.
about that. We love Journey Smollett.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We wouldn't doubt that Journey will pull it off. However,
I'm sorry. What?
Are we being really petty right now?
Go get your stew.
we,
Go get your stew.
it's,
Go get your
it's,
stew.
it's
Absolutely not.
No
You thought I was
slander.
gone.
No slander.
no,
No way.
I don't
No
knock
way.
her.
Journey slander.
Ain't
is
no way.
allowed
We
in
ain't
my
gonna have
presence.
a
I can't
light storm
take
on
that.
my watch. I will go
No.
down there and burn all the film. Ain't no way.
Your stew gonna burn if you don't take it off the stove.
And you know what? It'll be the right shade of storm. I will let it burn.
Wow.
I will be back.
Wow.
Though.
She said it before I did. I'm glad she said it.
You're gonna burn her house down.
I'm gonna wire her
She
some
said it
money
in
or
the
something.
The
She's
fight
like,
Journey
I
Smollett
explained
over a role nobody offered her.
Oh,
This fool said Journey. Wait a minute.
Journey
No, we didn't
Smollett.
say
Not Journey
take it.
Smollett.
No.
No. We
But
like
I'm like
Canary.
curious. That's the thing that will be missing. I'm not saying that she couldn't act it. I'm not saying she couldn't pull it off. However, she don't have the look.
There's a certain
And
look
that's the
to it,
thing.
right?
There's a look you have to have. Storm
Mhm.
is dark skin. It's
Yeah.
not a colorism issue or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Pretty much.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Mm.
look at Namor in Wakanda Forever. It makes perfect sense to make him of that shade, of that race, of that background. It fits the aesthetic.
And it made it all. I mean, it made it better. I mean, you went with someone of a Mayan background who knew of their cultures, could really speak on the religion, and he's like, I didn't do much studying. This is my culture.
Yeah,
Everything they
Yeah.
did was his culture. So it's like it was already authentic. Now it's just a history. It's just it's a history lesson for some people. Is
Exactly.
what it is.
exactly.
Mhm.
And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to keep that aesthetic. You're like,
You know what? I just realized something. That's how Disney is doing this. Disney is teaching kids history that they won't learn in schools.
you've been watching the Daily Show or something?
No, but did somebody beat me to that? Did somebody beat me to that? Tell me somebody.
Ron Wood.
Oh no, he gets
Disney
that
is
respect.
trying to make up
Ron
for-
Wood.
No,
Ron
They're
Wood.
trying to make up
So
for Song of the South. That's what they're doing.
so Ron
yeah, I was like,
Wood.
because I thought about that. I was like, every major Disney movie has started to have a little bit of history, and I'm like, is
No,
the
this is-
mouse
so this is
slowly
what happened.
introducing history?
So this is what happened. As you know, Trevor Noah is no longer the host on the Daily Show.
Yeah,
They have celebrity guests. So the
Yeah.
celebrity host was Wanda Sykes, and
Mhm.
Ron Wood is still there as a correspondent. And they were talking about Disney, and they were talking about how they're removing all this history from Florida and Texas and everything else. And Ron Wood says, no, they need to keep it, but not back at the schools. He said, put it in Disney. She was like, why would they put it in Disney? She was like, they would learn. I was like, and just like Will said, Song of the South, put it in Disney. He's like, the hell with Epcot Center. It's just a big golf ball with an elevator. That's boring. Nobody wants to be in there. But he said it. As he said it, I'm like, that makes a lot of damn sense, you know?
because it just dawned on me. I'm like, because even in Wakanda Forever, it's like you learn more about Mayan culture, and even some actual, even though some of it was a little bit embellished, but
Yeah.
there was some actual history points to it. I'm like,
There were certain things they did that were Mayan culture.
Yeah.
Just like the African diaspora. That's African diaspora. A lot of that stuff fits.
yeah,
And how do you get kids to learn? By
TikTok.
having fun. Well,
Yeah.
there's that too. Though. Yeah.
well, you know, that's Schoolhouse Rock taught us that you can have fun and learn civics at the same time.
Right. You know, by the time I'm just a bill out there.
It was so. You know what? The more I thought about that, the depression behind that bill made so much more sense now.
See?
Yeah.
It makes so much more sense how depressed he was.
They gotta
You
have
look back now, you're just like, wait a minute.
They gotta have the I'm Just a Bill remix featuring Drake.
Oh Lord.
Oh, good God.
Fire.
I just not thought about that. I'm just saying, it's like that's one of the things that kind of dawned me. I'm kind of mad that Roy Wood Jr. beat me too, but I'm kind of not because he's one of my favorite comedians.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it just dawned on me right now. It's like They're slowly throwing things in there, but it's not just Disney though. I mean, we guys talked about this. We see Lovecraft Country did it and scared a whole lot of.
Watchmen did it.
Yeah, Watchmen did it. Scared a whole lot of them. I'm waiting to see what the next one's going to be. Personally, what's the next one?
There were people. The fact that there were people, black and white, who thought Wakanda was real, and people. I heard people come up to me, and I'm like, "Where is it?" And I'm like, "Unfortunately, it's not real.
Only in our hearts."
Nah, Akon's building it.
Akon's got a wait list. Akon City has a wait list.
I'm just, and it's like I say, unfortunately, Wakanda's not real. It's in our heart, however. So I was like, if you took all the stuff that black people created, and confident in one country, yes, it's Wakanda. That's Wakanda.
Yes.
So it's
I'm like
it's all us. So iPhones and everything else. So yeah, but yeah, it's I do see Anna Diop as being a really good pick.
Yeah,
in that role.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I mean, and there's a rise of young black actresses right now.
Yeah,
that you can pick from. So it depends on how young are you playing this character. How what's the age range you're looking at? Because you figure if you're doing a Professor X, are you really? We don't even know what they're doing yet.
Well, technically, it would have to be. You would have to kind of take the. If I was going to make a suggestion, it would have to be the 96 version. If you think about it, you already want an established Professor X. You already want an established Magneto. You do want Storm to be of modern age, since she's basically Professor X's number 2. Yeah, and you can go from there as far as if you want to do the original cast, if you want Morpheus, if you want Beast, if you want Jubilee, if you want Wolverine.
So you make her an adult.
You make her you make her an adult, but she's pretty much she's the wise beyond her years type. So that's the only way I can't imagine
her 20-ish, early 30s maybe.
Yeah, because I can't imagine a younger. I mean, I can imagine a younger Storm, but the Storm that we all grew up on, that we were introduced to, was never a teenager, if I can say it like that. It was really always. I mean, she wasn't until so it was always
we didn't really get a teenage Storm until, and shout out to Mark Sumerak, good friend of mine. He actually wrote that Storm solo. Yeah. So we didn't get a young Storm until then. Everything else you got Punk Storm and more like version Storm. You got she was already an adult. She was already established.
Yeah.
And we got mentions of her past. We got so would it be nice to see a Storm who's mid-20s, early 30s, and then you might, let's just say we get a scene where they're in battle and she gets trapped in rubble, and that's when her fear kicks in. And we get a flashback of her parents and how her parents died. We get some of that.
Yeah.
So
they kind of take an arrow approach to it a little bit.
Yeah, something. So I'm for it. She doesn't have to be.
I'm not against it though, because like you said, it's that having those moments of where like say for instance, if she's trapped, it has that those flashes of when she was a kid, when she was trapped, is if she had claustrophobia or something like that triggers a memory. I'm okay with that. There's that, because Storm's story up until recently has always been a mystery as far as her before the X-Men. It's always been the mystery, and for the longest time it was always protected because we always wanted to guess what Storm was or how Orr Monroe became Storm. But nobody really had the gut. I won't say nobody had the guts. Her story was just protected. It's like the Joker. Yeah, we didn't want to write it. We didn't want we never wanted to know the identity or how the Joker came to be. It was joked about. It was suggested. Joe Cool was a name that's been circulated for years.
It was alluded to.
Yeah, but it was never. But the mystery behind that identity was that we never knew, and that's what carried it. Storm's the same way.
Yeah. So I mean, Logan was on that book until they did that origin book, the origin storyline, origin arc, and they just broke everything down. I'm like, okay, you took the mystery out of it. okay, we just know this guy lived several lives. You know, patched his time in
that's the kind of thing that's the thing that always kind of ruins it. That you want to take like Wolverine. It's like, yes, we know because of his ability, he ages slowly. He's almost finite mortal. He's almost immortal to a certain extent. We know that. But it's like, do we really need to? I mean, well, what about his time in Japan where he ran against, Silver Samurai? And, okay, cool. Yeah. That's your way of introducing Silver Samurai, even though the Wolverine movie was,
that was on the other night, and I watched it.
And Origins was just,
yeah.
I mean, it was. Let's call it what it is.
It didn't get good until Logan. Ain't that bad? That's bad.
Because
it took them 3 movies to get it right, bro.
Because someone finally read. Because you know why? Because we say this all the time between me, Will, and Kira. It always takes somebody who has read the comics to actually know how to write the character and write the story. Because Old Man Logan was not a happy story. It wasn't. It's not meant to be a happy story.
Oh my God, it was such a brutal story.
Yeah.
But it was in so many ways, so many ways, and it was such a such a last ditch effort for the story arc. Just of what was going on, it was such that last making it to the White House and getting what he needed and getting back home. It was such a last ditch effort to find out this was all for nothing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pain.
I didn't pop my claws this entire time. This was all for nothing. And now they piss me off.
It's like watching Days of Futures Past and realizing the first 3 X-Men movies didn't mean spit.
Oh
yeah.
Realizing that Days of Futures Past was its old job was to reset the X-Men First Class universe. And everybody,
I have my gripes about Days of Future Past, and it was the fact that they hyped up Bishop so much.
I knew X-Men Future Class was doomed the moment they killed off Darwin. You knew it was done the moment
for First Class. First Class.
When a mutant whose ability is to be able to survive anything gets offed.
That was so
black.
Imagine the face. I'm in the theater talking to my wife. She was like, "So what's his power?" I said, "He could pretty much adapt to anything."
Yes.
Anything. And I'm watching him. I'm like, you make him swallow the bomb, and I'm like, he'll be all right. He's like adjusting, but he'll be all right.
He's solidified. I'm like, this is when I knew Bryan Singer should not direct any more X-Men movies. Because if you're a writer and you're reading this script line, and then you go back and read Darwin's powers, explain this.
Yeah.
Because
I don't even know why they include him in the movie.
It was a waste at that point. You wasted this. You wasted his power set. You wasted the character. And I'm just like,
you know who that should have been?
Was that
Morph?
Yes,
that should have been Morph.
That should have been Morph.
I'm tired of the Morph erasure. Bring my man Morph back.
They played him bad on the animated series. I'm like, man, they gave this dude issues. Like Jesus.
But that always bothered me about X-Men First Class was that you took a mutant that can go toe to toe with Sebastian Shaw, and you took him out with him inhaling a nuclear fission. That's how you beat him.
Currently the books are doing a much better job with Darwin.
Yeah,
much better job.
Yeah.
But then again, they always have, so they just didn't know how to put it.
But that goes back. It's like when they were writing First Class, it's like, okay, you got Banshee right, even though you did take several liberties with him. You did go more into Eric's story, which I will give him credit for, just because of Eric's upbringing and that it involved a certain tragic event.
Let's touch on that.
Y'all kind of again introduce history. There were
two saving graces in that particular franchise. From the First Class on of the Dark Phoenix, there were two saving graces: Quicksilver and Magneto.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, father and fucking son, ain't that something?
Yeah. Because Quicksilver was exactly what we thought he would be during the 70s, and that's the time you can agree with Magneto. That's how you could agree with Eric.
Yeah.
Eric sat there and said, that's like the truest line
Yeah.
Eric ever said, they will never accept us. We will always be a threat to them. No matter how many, it's like, Charles, you can extend your hand, but expect a knife in your back.
Yeah.
It was just like
even my wife said it because I was sick over the weekend and they were playing Dark Phoenix and I'm like, how far is it in? Because I only want to see the train scene because of Magneto. I didn't care about the rest of the movie. I didn't care about nothing. I was like, the train scene with Magneto was the best part of that film.
Yeah.
You know, and because he just on a dime. He was just like, I tried living in peace. Y'all won't leave me alone.
and that's why
I separated myself from y'all. Took on a whole different name. Got married. Had a kid. That saved one of your lives.
That's when you can sit there and say Magneto did everything he could, and yet y'all still mess with him. At that point, you're rooting for Magneto. At that point, you have rooted for like this man. You see, now it's like Candyman. You called his name 3 times. Now you mad.
Yeah. You know what this is supposed to do, and yet you keep doing it. Whatever. You know, so
that's why I said I'll never be mad at Magneto. Magneto sat there and said the funny part out of the whole X-Men story, nobody ever said Magneto was wrong, but everybody will always sit there and say Charles had the right idea.
They always say, we got to stop Magneto from killing people. I'm like,
did he really kill people though?
They
deserved it.
We got mad because he took our bridge from us. He was like, he's separating y'all from him. Y'all just decided
if y'all not planning on coming over, what do you need a bridge for?
Right. Like, y'all don't like us,
or
I'm making a way for our people.
The pull-out couch is gone. The pull-out couch is gone. Y'all can't stay here no more.
That's how you know Magneto had a point. As Chris has said so eloquently, when you go to a planet that is dead, you went to Mars, colonized it, said all safe haven for mutants, and yet humans are like, we as well must go. Y'all just can't let us live.
Yeah.
Why?
We don't like your mother. You can't stay here.
Like, why? you know there's a couple of them mutants up there that were just like, Charles, what the fuck, man? Like, no.
And Charles, that's what I said for the longest time, I really couldn't stand Charles Xavier. I'm like, dude, Magneto has proved himself. Man, I just want Magneto to just go straight up Charles and like, Charles, take the helmet off. Search my feelings, Charles. Have I been wrong this entire goddamn time? My helmet is off, Charles. Read my mind right now.
Like Charles, aren't you tired of rebuilding that dusty ass mansion? Look where we are now.
You can have a whole continent right to yourself.
We got a whole planet. They will not touch us. They don't have to get near us. They only have a gateway, and that's if we allow them to come in.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a much needed scene in the X-Men movie. I just need Magneto just to go off on Charles and be like, how long are you gonna keep this up? Because I've been right for like the last 60 years. 60, 70 years. I've been right.
I feel like he's had that scene. It wasn't.
Charles doesn't take it easy.
Charles doesn't take it because even at the end of X-Men, where he sits there and says, he tells Charles as he's leaving, you still won't admit I'm right. The humans will never accept you, and you will still try, and yet you will still try to curry their favor.
We are at the age where we realize Charles was wrong.
Yeah. What they say as kids, you like Charles Xavier, but as an adult, you understand Magneto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, Charles, sweet. You hit him with that Monique. Sweet baby.
Sweet.
Although technically,
you don't know when you're wrong, don't you?
although Magneto did suggest to Charles, you could literally change every human on the planet and we could end the war outright. I wouldn't. He say, what do you say? You could take over every human and change their way of thinking, and there would not be a need for me.
Mm-hmm.
And we can live peacefully. Oh, I want them to learn on their own. I'm like, dude,
you can't have both ways, Charles.
I tell you what, I'm gonna grab an asteroid. I'm gonna just take the ones that want to come with me. I'm gonna go up here. We're gonna mind our business. What happens? The government says, oh, they have an asteroid. They could destroy us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a planet. We'll terraform it. they can't even get to it because it take them too long to get here anyway. So we gonna go here and we gonna mind our business. What happens? Oh, they figured out immortality. We want it.
What I love about this plot point is that every time I hear in real life, like, go back to your country, it's like I'm very confident that if people all just went back to their country, like that's exactly how it would play out. It'd just be like, hey, so what you guys doing over there?
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to. You worse than me. I had a worse idea. I just want a certain homegrown group to stand up and say, "Great. So when can we expect you to leave? When can we expect you to
now
go out?"
You figured it out. So how? This is how we're gonna do this. Yeah. So, we'll create a dinner for you. Oh my God.
Trust me, man, if it was that easy,
If
we
it
would
was
have been
that
done it by
bad.
now.
Man,
I'm
just
migration is real. Oh my God. So the Grammys just came out. The Grammys premiered. So once again, we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. I got a chance to see that performance.
It was so good.
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
That performance was very good.
who all was in it?
And I can I be
Everybody, go ahead, Kieran. I like every damn body, damn near everybody.
Thank
There
you.
were a few missing ones, but
I want to thank the Academy for excluding Eminem from this. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There were some notables that weren't. I was shocked that Big Boy was there, not Andre 3 Stacks. That's why I was just like, wait, you. Oh, come on.
I think three.
Yes,
Like
we
the
take
one
Three
time,
Stacks.
man, you couldn't show up for the one time.
Man,
I think Three
The
Stacks is
culture?
taking the Batman route. He only comes out every once in a blue moon.
yeah,
Well, that was the blue moon. He
That
should have
was
came.
yeah,
You would
should have.
think so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Three Stacks. I love him since Southern Player Calistic Music. I get that, but the man,
Fuzzy pants with the football pads. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, She Lives in My Lap will always be one of my favorite
That's a
songs.
cut.
But
That's a cut. That's a whole bop. Like
that's
that's
come
a
on,
bop.
Kara. Don't do
matter of
that.
fact, I'm
Don't
gonna
do
be playing.
Kara.
I'm gonna be playing
Don't do
that
that.
when I get off here.
I'm like, come on now. We come on.
It's
Miss
a total.
Jackson.
It's a totally dive into some instrumental science, and I'm just like, what?
He literally made a song called "Hey Ya" that had 5 lines.
He did. And they were going in.
Don't
on
get me
it.
wrong. You can play "Hey Ya" right now at any given.
We all
time.
know it. We all know a Caroline. Come on.
Yeah.
We don't know what.
But I'm just saying, I respect that. I respect that he didn't want to be there. You had that many hip hop heads that
That's a
were
lot.
there, and
You
then
had you got to look at it like this.
MC Light.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I wasn't the only one. I'm like, yo, where's
Yeah.
Light? I seen Latifah. Where's Light? You know, so
yeah.
but
Damn, she wasn't there.
No.
Nope.
Oh,
They
yes,
had
he
Salt and
was.
Pepper. They had Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper, and I was like, "Where's Light?
Yeah.
Warm sound fake now.
Where's Light?" I was like, "Where is Light?" You know. So, but I think because you're pressed for time,
Mm-hmm.
and you have
The
to
sense was already
celebrate.
nervous.
Pretty much, yeah. You already got to celebrate 50 years. So that's certain numbers in certain decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started out with LL.
Okay, cool.
You know, he did the porn. Meth was rep Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Okay.
DJ Jazzy Jeff was there, so he repped.
Mhm.
Will Smith couldn't be there. He couldn't be there, but for good reason. He
Yeah.
couldn't be. He's actually they're actually doing Bad Boys for it, which is why
Enough
he
time
has
has passed.
Luckily,
Enough time has passed.
luckily.
Here, let me tell you something. Will Smith, the Black Coalition forgives you. That's what we're saying.
They should have had
There's
the whole
nothing
crowd.
wrong
We
with it.
understand. I'm just saying for the people that don't understand.
The other people that don't understand, y'all need to get over it. We have seen and heard much worse that's happened at Oscars. That
Yeah.
was not.
Worse and
Was it the
and
wrong
after
place?
party.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is he forgiven? Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Should have had the whole crowd rap the Fresh Prince
So
intro.
yeah, but LL and Black Thought, my guy.
Dude.
They opened it
Okay.
up. You
Yeah.
know, Nelly was there. Yeah, like they celebrate. They went when they got up to
Nelly and
when
the
they
Air
got up
Force
to
One.
when they got up to these last, like, I guess 20 years, I guess you could say. I was just like, all right, I don't follow you, little baby. I don't know.
That's the part. That's the part of hip hop that needs to go away.
Wait a minute.
I wasn't knocking them. It was just like, all right, I ain't vibing
Wait
with
a
you.
minute now.
Buster
Once
was
you get
there.
past,
Buster
let's be
did his
honest.
thing.
Once you get past
Wait,
2000, it should just be a whole redacted black line up to present.
Wait
a minute now.
You bugging.
Not
You know who they
everybody
needed to have?
in
They
the
needed to have somebody.
2010s is
There were
They
some
needed to have
terrible
Don't
artists.
DMX.
get me wrong,
DMX should've
JP.
been
You're
up there and
exactly
someone
right.
should
There are some
perform.
exceptions, but mumble rapping might as well have a black redacted
That
line.
don't count. You know, you
That
just
don't
trying to
count.
bring up shit that don't nobody want to talk about. Nobody's talking about mumble rap. We talk about real rap. Don't
You
bring that
had some
up.
you had some mumble
That's not
rappers
the
in that
last 20
group.
years. That was like a blip in the entire timeline. Ain't nobody doing that shit.
Yeah,
Not for real.
Yeah, man, we passed that era, man.
Yeah, man.
No,
that
Thank
was,
God.
Not as
Thank
long
everybody
God.
takes a skip.
That was a
Everybody
blink.
skips
I was
over
just
it.
like, what the hell is all of this?
Oh,
I'm
there's
like,
some.
am I
there's
grand?
some
Am I
ones
my
They ain't even
granddaddy?
saying
that
words
never
no
got
more.
that
Me
performance.
and Glorilla, we friends. We
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Glorilla.
But yeah,
Glorilla.
they
That
had
girl
they
got
really
so many teeth.
Rakim was performing, Buster was performing. So they had the upper echelon
Yeah.
of hip hop in the building. And it was Public Enemy was there. Chuck D came out.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, get your last free poster by going jumping in there and saying hashtag fight the power. But and it's a signed poster at that. So yeah, there it is. But yeah, it was crazy because Chuck came out, he came out with Flav. And hold on, who we got?
Was the band there?
Oh,
Deep A.
Was
Beat
the
A,
band
ND.
there?
not the band.
No.
Somehow he missed his
Oh.
opportunity that he
Yeah.
had.
Oh, not the band.
But it had its moment. It was definitely a moment to stand out. It was definitely something that is worth checking out. Seeing Trevor Noah backstage, he's a big hip hop fan, by the way, and he sees Busta and he's reciting line for line, and Busta is with him. He was like, "Tell Spliff if he ain't available, I'll fill in for him. I'll be your hype man." So seeing Rakim and Jay-Z meet up backstage, it's really a meeting of minds and legends, and to be here in this particular day and age and seeing this level of music, transcend and still involve, like I was like, I'm listening to all these performances and I'm like, I need to check my tapes at my mom's house, and I need to check my CDs that I got left over there too, because I got every last one of these albums. So it was something. It was something. So some of the winners. So for record of the year, Lizzo won for About Damn Time. And just see, once again, Black Girls Winning.
What's happening?
This might be the episode name, Black Girls Winning. But if you aren't following Lizzo, shame on you. And I'm gonna say why. You have a woman who, and her speech on top of that was something else. She said when Prince died, they told her to put out the music that means something to her, that's representative of her. And that's what she's done. She's embraced herself. She embraces her body, her beauty, her skill set. The woman's talented. Y'all gonna stop shitting on this woman.
I mean, she made a flute hip hop. Just saying.
Exactly.
The fact that she incorporated. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lizzo is very talented, and she does deserve. What was it? Was it record of the year? She definitely did deserve that. So I'll give her that. And the thing about it was, it's just like, despite how some people may feel about her, it's like, you could have your opinions, but you can't knock the girl's talent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, my favorite song is still like How I Love You. I mean, she sung the Patti LaBelle out of that song, and that told me she could sing. So I mean, kudos to her. She deserves it. Although I did love what she said about Beyonce. Although her elementary school may come looking for her for skipping class.
She was being honest. So
but I skipped out on fifth. I skipped out on fifth grade. Come watch you. I was like, yeah, your elementary school gonna come knocking.
Right. Oh, so you owe us these credits.
You owe us some days, Lizzo.
Right. So
Yeah,
for album of the year was Harry Styles, and we talked about it before the show. I don't listen to Harry Styles.
Just to say yes to the dress.
I actually took the time out in my workday to listen to that album. I sat and I listened because I had that kind of time today. Absolutely, goddamn not. That little motherfucker should have not gotten that goddamn award on that goddamn stage. Ain't no way in God's green earth you're gonna tell me, sit me here and tell me that he had something so goddamn. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant. He had something so profound to say.
Go ahead.
When he's up against ABBA for Voyage, Adele for 30, Bad Bunny, Beyonce for Renaissance, you know, Mary J. Blige for Good Morning Gorgeous, Brandy Carlisle, Coldplay, and Kendrick.
That's a lot.
Wait, Kendrick was up too?
He was on that list.
The Big Steppers.
And somehow,
well, I mean, it was
and Special from Lizzo.
Yeah.
So somehow
Harry brought you watermelon sugar.
Shut the fuck up.
That is
you know what? That is an annoying little earworm. What watermelon sugar high, dude? You just literally had Kool-Aid for the first time, is what you had.
That's what that was. We like watermelon sugar. I'm like, oh, that's that flavor. We call it red.
This man was given Southern style Kool-Aid and made a song.
So for what was this? Song of the year? Yeah, Song of the Year. Bonnie Raitt for Just Like That. Best New Artist, Samara Joy. Congratulations.
Which
brand new artist too.
Her album is actually like
very good.
I don't if you're not into jazz, that's the album that you're gonna want to start with.
Very good. Very good stuff. Best pop solo performance.
Harry Styles.
Well,
Chris Pratt.
Adele. Actually, they have Adele. Adele won that. Adele, Easy on Me.
Make this
she
make
was
sense.
She was up against Bad Bunny, Doja Cat, Steve Lacy, Lizzo, and Harry Styles.
I thought Steve Lacy would win.
How, Sway? How is
Adele
that?
doesn't make pop music.
She didn't. I mean, her last album was more pop than anything else. I think this newest one was more experimental.
Hey, yo, people just be throwing darts at these fucking award shows, man. I swear to God, none of it makes any goddamn sense.
Isn't it vote by committee?
I think it is. I think it is. So now for best pop duo and group performance, Sam Smith and Kim Petras for Unholy got that one. I gotta admit that
Sam Smith knew he had a hit when he sung that song. He knew he had a hit, especially with a certain crowd.
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. But see that song hits.
You ain't gonna have a
if you end up with that crowd.
That song crowd. Will, that Unholy song was like the anthem for the S&M people. That was the anthem for the S&M people. Let's just be honest.
Like watch the. There's a. Where did he perform it at?
That's what I was saying. The horse.
Did they watch the video? And you're just like, damn, this video is intense. It was this was the song, but yeah, Unholy hits. That's a whole bop. It is.
I mean, you gotta give him credit. And plus, the man can sing. I can't knock Sam Smith. I mean, it's just that one song he sings in falsetto. I'm not gonna destroy myself trying to sing it, but y'all know what that is.
He can sing.
He can sing.
The man,
I can't argue that he won that.
Yeah. So, best traditional pop vocal album, Michael Bublé. He was up against Kelly Clarkson, Norah Jones, Pentatonics, and Diana Ross. Wait a minute.
She's still making records.
When? Who?
Man, she did that right. Hold on.
Wait. Diana Ross? Still
Diana Ross was on there. I didn't even know she had an album.
I mean, what 2020?
Smokey just came out with one, and it's questionable about the title. Smokey came out with one for the nursing homes. Them nursing homes been turning to Freaknik when that album comes out.
Oh my God.
Stop.
You're not wrong.
Smokey, you need to chill out, my guy.
Smokey finna sit there and say,
this is the Smokey we just seen a couple years ago in full jean jacket and jeans gear Talking about don't smoke that dope. Don't.
I
Stop.
mean, locks, jeans, and everything. Stop
Not,
the
and then
riding.
we seen him a couple years later in Vegas grinding on stage. I'm like, yo,
Sir.
what is
Yo,
happening right now?
He going back to his bread and butter.
What?
Smokey's only known for 3 good hits. He going back to his bread and butter right now.
Smokey is a spokesperson of Blue Chew. I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
All right, everybody, good night.
Stop.
I need you.
Oh my god.
I will.
So
That's not that would be the Blue Chew commercial right there.
that's the Blue Chew
Need
one.
you.
They're gonna
Lord.
send the people after you.
Right. So best pop vocal album, once again, Harry Styles. He was against ABBA, Adele, Coldplay, and Lizzo. How is Lizzo special? Okay, whatever.
You know
Again,
exactly damn what.
I know it
There
is.
has
I know
there
it
has
is.
to be a committee, and I gotta ask questions.
Yeah. So best dance electronic recording, Break My Soul, Beyonce.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
she won. She was gonna win that by a landslide.
Yeah. Nobody else is putting out.
Nobody.
Well,
was
I'm
here.
sorry. Was Drake
Diplo
nominated?
Miguel was on there. David Guetta and Babarisha.
So all EDM, all EDM
nope.
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
I
was
mean, it
actually
was
on
a dance record. It
Drake
wasn't.
Drake
It
ain't
wasn't an
had his
R&B
heart broken in a
record.
while, so you ain't gonna get that. You ain't gonna get that singing. You ain't gonna get that singing Drake for a while.
Mm-mm.
He'll have a new album.
I
Rihanna's
wish
about to
we
come
knew.
back out.
I think we know who's on the committee.
I don't know.
We
I'm gonna
won't
find
say
out.
who's on the
Rest
committee.
assured, I'm gonna find out.
I'm just
You're
saying.
gonna write some letters
Yeah.
this week.
The committee has always that committee is worse than the Illuminati.
Yeah. Best dance and electronic music album, Beyonce for Renaissance. So we knew that was going. Let's face it. That yes.
That's right.
Not gonna lie,
You
there's some tracks on there that
your
get
songs
it.
hit when they're TikTok memes now.
Yo, yeah.
Let's be honest.
Let's be honest. There's not everybody needs to do said TikTok.
You ain't lying. The uncoordinated do not need to be doing cuff the night. I'm sorry. Stick to what you know. Stick to country
That's
line
one of the
dance.
reasons why I
Stick to
just be
Ricky Hart.
skipping through that app, man. Skipping, scrolling, and
They look
skipping,
like
dog.
Yeah.
I laugh because they look like the ones that seen it. Y'all know the ones I'm talking about. It looks like the head and the body go in opposite directions. So when they start to go, the head way, it just doesn't look right. Like the body's trying to go this way, the legs trying to go this way, and it's just like
I've seen one where like they like somebody. I'm like that had to be one of us that did that on purpose because they recorded it from the front. And somebody recorded it from the back. And when I say it was everything I thought it was going to be, I was just like, yeah, that adds up. That adds up.
Although the worst, it's truly dead when you see an all-white sorority girls do it. I'm like, and it's dead.
We're done. Yeah. Like, what's happening? No, we're done. We're done. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Y'all just had to kill it.
Shut it down. Just like
it just goes to the graveyard of things we used to love. I mean, remember the dap? We used to dap until we saw white people do it.
Yeah, this is the exact energy I had after I seen it. I was like,
don't you put that on us.
Exactly. It was done. We were done.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I think about that. Most dances, I mean, they try to take the electric slide. They try to take the wobble. They try to do the bunny hop, which is interesting because it still looks messed up. But yeah, it's like whatever they take some, it's just like we can't use that no more. You have tainted this.
So it seems like it looks like in their best rock album and best rock song and best metal performance. So we'll start there. Best rock performance went to Brandy Carlisle. Best metal performance went to Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, because he's still alive.
He's alive.
He's still alive. I don't know.
Wow.
Whatever's in his bloodstream.
Now, don't get me wrong. I will still listen to Black Sabbath, but that was before Ozzy.
Everything but
Ozzy
rhythm.
lost it.
This is true.
Damn.
Yes, rhythm. You are 100% right.
Best rock song, Broken Horses again. Best rock album, Ozzy Osbourne. Yep. Best alternative music performance. I don't know who that is. Wet Leg.
Who?
Oh, good God.
Wet Leg.
Wet Leg.
Wet Leg.
WETTLEGG.
Wet Leg. WETLEG. Wet Leg.
That's
what your
happens when
dog
you
would do if
stanky
you
leg too long.
Yeah, that's a stanky leg in the shower when you're trying to get a towel.
What's going on, Grandpa? You shut up and keep digging.
Wet leg sounds like a disease that you got on your leg. That sounds like get that wet leg off your.
Wet leg sound like you ain't. Wet leg sound like you ain't jiggled properly at the
You
urinal.
ain't jiggle properly.
Doggone it, James! You done messed around and got that wet leg.
Oh my god! Best alternative music album, Wet Leg. Once again, we can get past that now. We're in the best R&B performance. Hours and Hours, Muni Long.
Okay.
Best traditional R&B, Plastic Off the Sofa, Beyonce.
Okay.
Best R&B song, Cuff It.
Again.
Beyonce.
Wait a minute, we breaking up R&B and traditional R&B.
I guess so.
I guess so.
Best progressive, best progressive R&B. There's this
what?
Progressive R&B.
Christian rock?
What?
Everyone gets
I
more
feel like
now.
they just cutting the pizza into smaller and smaller slices.
I was just like, what is progressive R&B? Yeah. Okay.
That's
Steve
R&B song under 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Oh man. Best R&B album, Robert Glasper.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah, he beat out a couple people. Best rap performance. Kendrick Lamar got best rap performance, best melodic rap performance. Future featuring Drake and Tim's. Tim's is making a lot of moves.
Yeah.
A lot of moves.
I'm so
Shout
happy.
out to Metro Boomin for saving Future's career.
Right. Yes. Best rap song.
Facts.
Once again, Kendrick Lamar for The Heart Part 5.
Nice.
Best rap album. Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
He got free that night.
He had a hell of a night.
He ran the gamut.
Yeah, he did.
He ran the gauntlet.
Best country went to Willie Nelson. Best country duo went to.
You know what? I'm not knocking.
I didn't know Willie Nelson had an album going. I thought
Willie
he was still an album.
Willie Nelson has reached immortality status.
Yeah, man.
I will never knock Willie Nelson because number one, if you're able to smoke with Snoop Dogg and still live afterwards, you made Snoop Dogg tap out.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Snoop
That's a big dog. That's a tall order right there.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson Willie Nelson's in that lane of just he will just you don't remember one song Willie Nelson ever did, but you know why he smoked.
Yeah. Like I get it now. I understand Willie. Best country song went to Matt Rogers. See, now we're in the country stuff, and I don't really listen to country. But Willie Nelson won for best country album.
I used to remember my songs.
Shut
I smoke weed.
You disrespectful.
I'm pretty sure.
Willie one of the cool ones.
He is one of the cool ones.
I'm pretty sure Willie Nelson has at least 4 songs about marijuana. I'm fairly certain of that.
4.
I'm at least 4.
So, but Samara Joy won for best jazz vocal album. Best jazz instrumental went to, where are they at? Here we are. Terry Lynn Carrington. Best large jazz ensemble went to Generation Gap Jazz Orchestra. Some of these other people I've never even heard of.
I might say that sounds like the awards they gave during the commercial break.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I'm like, some of these, I guess, nope. Okay.
Although shout out to
really.
TSU though.
Yes,
shout out to big band TSU.
So and then we go into the other stuff where probably it doesn't get a lot of television time or any at all. Okay, yeah, we're good. Because now we're getting the other. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good.
I'm sorry, I got corrected. The TSU big blue band of aristocrats. I'm sorry.
What?
You get one TSU grad in here. You guys said the whole goddamn title. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. TSU people get real ornery if you don't say titles right.
But what I will say, for best comedy album, The Closer with Dave Chappelle.
Yes,
all day. Definitely earned for that. But I will say this: shout out to Viola Davis for getting her EGOT.
Yeah,
she got that one. Like, oh, I'm so glad. Come on out. Where you at?
That is well deserved for EGOT status.
Now y'all can quit calling her the Black Meryl Streep. She's Viola Davis, damn it.
Does Meryl Streep have EGOT status? I think not. Ask that white girl.
So we're going to get into the total into the Power Morpher talk. So because we did it at the beginning, we kind of flipped it a little bit. So that was all our read. That was all the winners for well, not all the winners, but all the winners for the Grammys that we are interested in anyway. But we got our guests here tonight. We got JP Smalls. He talked a little earlier about some of his projects, about his fan films, and fan fiction for Power Rangers. But JP, let me put you up here so we can get the people talking.
All right.
There we go. All right. So tell everybody, how did what made you want to start doing Power Ranger fan fiction and fan films?
Well, basically, I want to say I've probably been a fan my whole entire life. I would just say just watching other fans do it. Like, if you ever seen Power Rangers Unworthy, or if you ever seen Shattered Past, like those two are huge fan projects in the PR community, and they inspired me to kind of start my own. But I've always had the intuition to want to write something surrounding that ever since I've been a freshman in high school. The teacher would be like, what are you writing, man? You're always sitting there writing something, pay attention in school, y'all, But, I just decided one day I wanted to take my ideas out of a notebook and then put them into an actual project. So, that's what I would say wanted to make me write. I just wanted to create, I wanted to take a property that people see as campy and childish and show that you can write something that is more grounded and mature. And I wanted to just inspire people to watch more than MMPR, because there are a lot more other series of PR that have different takes, different tones that you should check out if you have any time. But yeah, I just wanted to take that property and do something more with it, do something different, do something new. But yeah, that's what made me want to start doing it.
So what is it, the 30th anniversary of MMPR?
Yeah. It's the big.
They're actually, man, I can't believe it's been 30 years. 50 years of hip hop, 30 years of Power Rangers.
Right.
I
see a pattern.
I see a pattern. I think we're getting old.
Yeah, man.
starting to creep up on us, but it's starting to creep up on us. I'm like, well, like 30 years. So we've seen every different variation of Power Rangers, over the years, and they're still going actually. And obviously we just lost Jason David Frank, but who was a major influence in that culture. I've had the opportunity to see this guy and even talk to him a couple times in person.
Yeah,
great guy. But when you see the level of fandom behind just MMPR, is that what drew you in? Like when you see him at a convention, you see the reprisals and him showing up on the shows, like, oh, he's the Green Ranger, he's the White Ranger, now he's the Red Ranger. Like, so they kept bringing him back. He was like, we gotta keep him. It's like Batman for DC. We gotta keep making them. So what was it like seeing someone of that stature and seeing someone just seeing that continue on?
Well, I've actually seen JDF in person. I didn't really ever get to have a conversation with him, and I kind of regret it. But I said what's up to him. He said what's up back, and it felt just kind of unreal. I tell y'all, it felt like I was dreaming, because as a child, man, I idolized that guy so much. Like, Jason David Frank is one of the reasons that I got into the series. And one of the reasons I actually started training in martial arts. So I will say that MMPR, while I didn't really grow up on it, I don't really like. Oh, give me a second, y'all. Like I didn't really grow up on it, but I do have a respect for it and what it has done from the community. But my first time being around a bunch of fans was when I went to a con in Atlanta Ranger stop, and I just got to meet so many different people. And to meet people that were even interested in my work, it's just crazy, man. It was kind of shocking to me because people were like, "Man, I've seen your work or I checked it out," and I'm like, "Really, man? Really?" And people ask me questions and talk to me, so I love the community. So yeah.
Right. When you have people, when you have companies like yourself, like Review Time Productions, Unworthy Productions, and other people that's creating these worlds, around centered around different versions of Power Rangers, not necessarily what we've grown up to see, but just different versions. Like you have you're doing a pirate version that's coming out later this year. You're doing digital. You have Digital Beasts out right now.
Yeah.
The creations is endless, because you figure when you watch the originals and then you've seen where they've gone from different types of morphers. They've gone to space. They've gone to the future. They've done some stuff in the past. They've done the ninjas thing. They're doing these fusions, and they're doing like these massive. Seeing Red was probably one of their major episodes. Where you had every version of Red Ranger showing up. And it's just like
Forever Red, not
Forever Red. Yeah,
Forever.
Red.
I was gonna say I don't know if you're going Forever Red or 3 other different episodes. My bad.
Yeah, because I can't remember the other one where every version of their Rangers showed up, but we knew that not every actor showed up, but every iteration of the versions of Rangers we had seen up to that point has shown up. That just tells you that you can always tell a story. You can always say, hey, well, what happened to, you got this new group of Rangers. What happened to the old ones? What happened there? Did they just kind of fall off? What time period are we in? So you're mentioning some of the projects that you have coming up, like Digital Beasts, and you had a totally different outtake on it, where you're saying, hey, you got a father and son who's creating this. The father's a game developer, and somehow the game goes haywire and it flips off, and the characters that's in the game are now in the real world. That's an idea. What is this? Yep, the Great War from the Super Mega Force. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, dude, we don't talk about that, man. That is one of the worst events ever. Like, it was cool seeing all those characters. Well, not characters, but all those Ranger suits on screen. But the writing for it was terrible, man. They just put no care and no thought into it, bro. So no, we don't talk about Super Mega Force, bro.
So do you think it's one of those things where it's because the shows aren't long. They're half-hour shows.
Yeah.
25 minutes, 24 minutes, 22 to 25 minutes at tops. We know that over the years, it's never been about the writing. It hasn't even been about the CGI. We know the CGI has not been the greatest for the Power Rangers universe. We know that, but once again, I think it's just the aesthetic of having these group of kids who want to do right, who are trying to do right, and are generally misunderstood. And hey, let's get these kids some power coins, and starting to represent different backgrounds, having a whole kid basically take the Billy Batson route, and become the Blue Ranger. You're like, yo, this kid's like 10. But it worked because it was speaking to a different demographic. So is that what you look for when you create some of your projects?
Yeah, man. I just try to reach different demographics and different people. I just try to create relatable characters, man, that people can genuinely connect to, that they can see themselves in, man. Um, that's basically what I try to do, man. I care about the characters. The characters and the storytelling are the two most important things to me, man. All
Mm-hmm.
the action and stuff, that's to the side, bro. If the
Mhm.
action doesn't have any meaning to it, then it doesn't mean as much to me. So I definitely try to create new characters, and put a new twist on them, and add more dimensions to the characters than what's typically seen on the TV show. So yeah, I do typically try to do that. And let me
So,
answer this.
yeah, Tia Grant says, "Do you think you'll ever try to share some of your ideas or work with Hasbro, or do you prefer to write more casually?"
Well, if Hasbro is going to pay me, if they're paying me, then yes.
That is
But
the
for
key right
free,
there.
I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I'm not just giving out my ideas for free. But if they are like, say, if they want me and work with me and use some of my ideas, then I'd be cool with that. But if
Mhm.
we're not, if there's no legal paperwork and no payment coming to, and I have no interest in it, I'll just keep doing my own thing. So.
You hear that, Hasbro? You got to pay this man.
Yeah, you
Come,
have to pay me, man. And I have just a whole lot of ideas that I would give to them, a whole lot of tones, a whole lot, man. Hasbro, I'm just saying, man, if y'all ever see my work, you got to pay me for those, because I wouldn't give out that for free, you know.
You guys got any questions?
yeah, I gotta ask, as from one Power Rangers fan to another, your favorite Sentai series. I have to know. Best Sentai series
Sentai,
in your best Sentai series, worst Sentai series, in your
we're talking
opinion.
Sentai. My,
Yeah.
dude,
Or
my
you can, or I'll tell you what. I'll let you full gambit. You can go across the board.
yeah, I'll
Worst,
do. Okay,
what you thought was the best series, what you thought was the worst series.
okay. Well, Sentai, my favorite series is, man, there's a lot of great ones, but my favorite series is Go Kaiser. I
Okay.
love the fact that they paid tribute to the suits of the past. I wish
Mm-hmm.
Super Mega Force would have been better, because every time I watch Super Mega Force, I remind myself I could be watching something better. But
Yeah.
I just
Jeez.
love Go Kaiser. I love
Okay.
the characters. I love the complexities. I love the choice that they give the Go Kaisers in the end, to rather get the greatest treasure, or
Mm-hmm.
they're met with a choice of, when you can have this treasure, but if you have this treasure, you're going to have to give up all of the Sentai powers, and
Yeah.
they choose to not get the treasure and to keep fighting as a Sentai and to keep Sentai alive. Like, I love that, and I just love how more complex the Sentai, I mean, not Sentai, but the Gokaiger characters are,
Yeah. Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily good or bad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I consider the Gokaigers anti-heroes at the end of the day. I've never considered them to be heroes within Sentai, because
Mm-hmm.
they do some very, like, they don't
Questionable
do
stuff.
questionable
Question.
stuff. Like,
Stuff.
and I love that moral ambiguity with that team. So yeah, I love Gokaiger, man. Gokaiger like inspired me to write my own pirate theme series. So yeah,
Okay.
man. And the worst Sentai for me is Ni Ninja. I hate that series. I'm sorry, but Ni Ninja was a pain to sit through for me, man. I could not stand the Red Ranger in that. He's the worst embodiment of a Sentai Red Ranger. Because
You know
literally
what?
all he does is scream and insert himself in every single situation.
Mm-hmm.
So man,
Why does
Ni
that sound
Ninja,
like?
I hate, bro.
You know
I
what?
cannot sit and watch that again. Like, Ni Ninja had cool ideas, and
Mm-hmm.
I will admit that Ninja Steel is 50 times better. And I'm not even that big of a Ninja Steel fan, but man, I would rather watch that than Ninja. That was a pain for me to watch. And then that show was like, I'm trying to figure out which anniversary it was. I can't remember, but I thought the anniversary aspects of the Ninja were cool, but outside of
Mm-hmm.
that, man, Man, I would not recommend that one of all since I watched.
No said. No, the moment you said, I was like, oh yeah, you know what? You get it. You get it. That's what
Yeah, man.
So it's
Yeah.
not much we can really ask you because we cover so much of it at the beginning of the show. But I'm glad Will asked me. It's just when you said that, I'm like, why is this? I just knew you were going to say that series.
Dude,
that series
terrible.
was hot garbage.
And then it's like the characters that I liked were pushed to the side in that show.
Yeah.
For the Red Ranger, who was the most annoying character I've ever had to sit and watch in any media. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I was starting to say maybe, just maybe, I am getting a bit too old for this because it was that bad, y'all. Like,
see, I told you, it's put a point where you start realizing Magneto might have been right.
Yeah. But no,
one of them situations.
What you feel, what your best and worst Sentais are, I'm the same way. That's why I was like, the moment you mentioned that one, I was like, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Dude, no, we were talking about Ninja, but Operation Overdrive is not one I would praise either. Even though I don't think it's that bad, especially compared to Super Mega Force. Super Mega Force is the worst PR series I've ever watched in my life, bro.
So if you had to recommend someone who's just getting in as Power Rangers, where would you start them at?
Time Force. Time Force to me had great storytelling. They had more mature takes on characters. The actors were actually acting in the show. So yes, man. Time Force definitely. I love Time Force. The only thing that isn't the greatest in Time Force is the time travel, the actual time travel.
It could have been better.
I give them a pass for that because it's hard to write time travel in any type of fiction.
Yes, well, when you figure your series is wrapped around it, that's it's not a one and done. It's like you kind of have to.
Yeah. And
it's not like Marty McFly or anything like that where you're like, hey, we got one movie, let's figure it out and run the gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I recommend Time Force. I wouldn't recommend MMPR, especially season 1, just because I feel like MMPR has
because Zach didn't have a decent hairline. It's
Zach and the messed up hairline.
Zach did not have a decent hairline for the longest time.
But at least in SPD they got it right, but they had to get the boy locks. SPD got his hair right, but it's still I always hated the reason why my two favorites on the MMPR side was always Turbo. It was always SPD, just because that was the first time you ever gave one of us a bat. But why those are two shortest freaking series in the entire thing? You notice that?
Yeah,
we got the two shortest series in MMPR versus anything else.
Jesus.
I always hated that. I'm sorry. That's a personal that's a personal right with me. And even in Turbo is still a messed up hairline.
Never forgave you for that, Walter Jones.
Yeah, man. TJ is a good character though, bro.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't recommend MMPR just because it is the most archaic form of the show. And
hip hop keto doesn't age well neither. So I mean,
would get into it. Like I recommend you
look at cinematic exercise. He was like, you had to say hip hop keto.
Yeah, but Time Force, I agree with you on that one. What's the other one I was thinking of?
Definitely Time Force, SPD, RPM. Those three I recommend.
Lost Galaxy wasn't bad.
Yeah, Lost Galaxy was good, man. Yeah. Lightspeed Rescue. Yeah.
So before we really close out, what are your projects? I know you said you had the Pirates one, which I'm a part of. That's coming up. September, right? Digital Beast is out now. You sound like you had a couple more under the belt because I'm in that chat. So I know you have a couple more.
Oh yeah, man. I have 5 series coming, man.
Nice.
We're in the beginning phase with Digital Beast. That's the main one. That's the flagship. And then you got Cavaliers, which is going to come May 6th, which is surrounded around Knights in the Fictional Kingdom. It's inspired by Lord of the Rings and Wakanda. And then you have 7 Seas, which is going to be surrounding pirates. And then next year in January 2024, I have my JDF tribute, which is going to be like a sequel to Dino Thunder. And my last series is going to be Space Theme, and it's going to be the one that kind of end in the universe at that point when we get there. But yeah, man, I have 5 different series. I have 1 that's out, and I have the other 4 that are in the works right now. I'm trying to just create a universe that connects with people with different characters, different tones, different situations, and that's about it for now. I don't really have a series plan, and I'm not going to, because I'm already working enough with that many, man. I don't think I could add another at this point.
See, Kira, and here you thought it was just me and Hellspawn. They just didn't have sleep schedules.
Yeah, man. I hardly get any.
I haven't a kid. People I'm drawn to are pretty much workaholics.
Yeah,
this is what we do.
Sleep.
Thanks.
Sleep. Join the insomniac.
I didn't have this problem until I met you.
Dang.
Yeah, did not have these problems until now.
I think Kira's been talking to Candy B behind my back. So
literally.
The fact that he called it, that was.
I'm a texter. I'm like, so Candy,
girl, the tea.
I know.
I told you this how Chris was. I told you.
Love you, Candy. I'm gonna give her a call later this week. Me and her trying to work on some stuff. But man, JP, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your project. Number 1. 2, you people need to go check him out at Review Time Productions on IG. Check him out on YouTube. Digital Beast is out now. 5 projects, and like,
yeah,
I can't even.
Dude,
like I said, I'm in the
man.
chat. Yeah, like I'm in the chat, and I'm like, wait, which character is going to what series?
Yeah, man, it's a lot to juggle, but when it's released, it will all like make a lot more sense, But yeah, man, it's a lot that I have to do within a year, and I'm not really doing it by myself. I have others helping me out. Nowadays, when I first started, it was stressful as hell, man, and trying to do all this by myself, not realize, what, maybe I should get other people to help me out. Even, I struggle with that a little bit because I'm kind of picky about my writing. Like, I'm very strict about my writing. Like, I respect other people's ideas. I will allow them and listen to them, but it still has to stick within my vision.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Well, man, we appreciate you stepping through, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I love being part of this project. I'm gonna have I told him I would have my lines to him probably before the end of the week. He said, "Oh, you don't even have to rush it." I'm like, I feel like I do. Just so I have it out the way, But I get what he's saying, because perfectionist over here.
Yeah, man.
I'll read it, then be like, try to listen to him. Like, nope, I can do better. But man, thank you for tuning in, or thank you for stopping by, man, and telling us about your stuff. Let me give you this. I gotta get some of these things off of here. There you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
So, like I said, you can check JP out on Review Time Productions on IG. You can go to the information in the bio, and you can also check them out on YouTube. And they also have Digital Beasts, Power Rangers Digital Beasts up now. Check that out. We're getting ready to close out this Grammy-winning and record-breaking Power Ranger morphing episode. We got a little bit of everything in here today. So
yeah, man, it's been a wide palette, bro.
So, Lady Mandalore, let them know where they can find you.
Hi. Sorry.
She's thinking
That's
about her stew.
me.
Everybody, I don't blame her.
No,
Did
see,
the
no,
stew-
some realness.
Did the stew
My
survive?
door is closed and it smells so good.
I was going to ask, did the stew make it? Because it sounded divine.
It is godlike. Okay, focus. So I am Mandalore. You can find me on Instagram at Roomful of Blurs. I have to learn to stop talking at my microphone. That is a thing that I'm realizing about myself. Roomful of Blurs on Instagram. You can also find me on Twitter at Roomful of Blurs, but with the 2 O's and room missing. I know it's a lot. Sorry, I couldn't do any better. It wouldn't fit. That's also what she said.
And she said it was us.
That was all you hear. I was quiet.
I know. I can't. Sometimes I'm a 12-year-old child. What can I say? That's what makes me fun. You can also find my lovely self on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fanbase. I have a chat room. We have a good time. Sometimes it's controversial. Most times it's not. If you're a troll, I will eat you.
She means that.
I need that recording.
Look, she means that.
Recorded.
Yes.
Oh man. The newly crowned Black Spartan in the building. So
Atlas. Thanks, delivery services, because you still have my stuff in transit. So all right. So yes, I lost the battle.
I delayed the delivery.
I lost the battle, Will. You had the high ground. You had the high ground, Will.
That was Cinematic Success's best Vince McMahon. It was me all along, Austin.
Oh yes, Black Spartan. It'll grow on you, trust me, especially when I actually have what I need that completes the ensemble. But you can find me on all social media under Black Fox 447. I usually give reviews on everything that I watch, that I play, that I listen to. Also, I do have a couple podcasts of my own. Of course, my daily news, political and current events called How the Frack We Got Here. Basically to inform you about the world and everything that's going on in it and why you should be informed every Wednesday and every Saturday on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I also have another podcast with my co-pilot, Joe Tonello, called Get Bit Podcast, a podcast that we cover everything from video games and anime to comic books, because we are definitely going to cover Sins of Sinister that Chris has alluded to and the reason why you should be reading it. That also is every Friday, also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Also, I am one of the columnists for the Blurred's Eye View site on Westling, on Westling.
Westview.
Now wrench around and wrench it off.
Dang, I just went Westling. I was like, that happened to come. Anyway,
you did it. Yeah, stop waiting for the yes. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
That's what she said.
Wow.
That's what she said. But yes, I usually do the column for wrestling, covering everything from AEW to WWE and beyond. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. And hit the twine buckle. I had to do it one time.
Oh my god.
But no, aside from that, guys, like I said, I'm usually a pretty cool guy on social media. I'm very friendly. I just have one rule: don't be a creeper. Outside of that, guys, I always say this all the time. For those who are hearing the sound of my voice, I am rooting for you. I am pushing for you. You have no competition except for yourself. With that being said, the only person stopping you is you.
Here he is, Cinematic Assassin in the building.
Indeed, you can find me as a producer on Children of the Atom. Out now.
Nice.
According to my internet friends, because I'm not really there right now. But when
he's going to take a peek. He's going to take
when I'm off this social hiatus, you can find me at Mayhem Media. That's MAYEHEM Media. Don't matter what site you're on, that's the tag. And as I will always continue to stress, mental health is important. So take that PTO. And if no one's told you today, I see you doing your best. Your best is good enough. Keep going and spread a little love along the way.
There it is. Hey, everybody. It is your favorite man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in to this Fantastic show, because let's face it, when did we ever put on a bad show?
Never.
If you are following us or haven't started following us, maybe you should, because once again, never a bad show. Tune in to us on IG, where you can catch us. Go to the IG channel, Blurred's Eye View, and you'll find the link tree right there, and you'll see it also in the bio, where it will send you to the Facebook page, Blurred's Eye View Podcast. You can also find us on Twitch, Blurred's Eye View 1. Go show your love. Find us on YouTube, Blurred's Eye View as well. Hit that notification button, hit that subscription, all that great stuff. And you can also listen to us all day Tuesdays and all day Thursdays by going to opulenceradio.com. Shout out to our sponsors at Opulence Radio and Ultimate Wireless. But if you download the Opulence Radio app completely free, you can listen to old episodes and just see how raw it was when we started. Wow.
I'm jealous.
I had a baby face, no hair on my face, nothing. I was just
I'm so jealous.
Butt booty naked.
But I'm jealous.
It's called choice oils and botanicals from Wakanda. That's what it's that's what it's coming from. I gotta connect. All right. So we're getting ready to head out of here. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to our guest, JP Smalls. Check him out. Review Time Productions. Give him a follow. Check out Digital Beast. Thank you to my team. We are doing our thing out here. Record-breaking podcast. Don't forget it. Record-breaking podcast. So until then, catch us Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch handle Blurred's Eye View 1, and every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Same channels. Until then, we are out of here.
Bye.
All right.